Trump administration is reportedly set to launch a new phase of operations against Venezuela in the coming days, apparently aiming to overthrow dictator Nicolas Maduro.
It comes as the U.S. ramps up its military strikes against the alleged drug boats in the Caribbean.
Lucas Tomlinson is in Trinidad and Tobago and joins us now with details. Good morning, Lucas.
Tobago.
Tobago.
Tomato.
Or the island of Trinidad. That works, too. Good morning, Charlie, Ainsley, and Brian. New warnings from the FAA have canceled several flights from several foreign carriers to Venezuela after American F-18 Super Hornets, spy planes, and bombers were seen flying off the coast. And now, Reuters out with a new report saying covert action could begin soon inside Venezuela. This comes after a month after President Trump authorized the CIA to conduct those operations. And here's from Reuters. Two of the U.S. officials said covert operations would likely be the first part of the new action against Maduro. The options under consideration include attempting to overthrow Maduro. Now, Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro has remained defiant. Yesterday was his birthday. Late last week, he attended a public rally with college students, attendance likely mandatory. Rachel Campos-Duffy interviewed Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who, like Trump, says Maduro's days are numbered.
I completely trust the strategy President Trump is developing and his Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. They know very well with whom they're dealing with. I believe that Maduro will get a very clear picture of what are his options and what's the future for Venezuela. Maduro started this war. President Trump is ending this war.
Should President Trump order strikes against the Maduro regime, there's plenty of firepower in the Caribbean to do it, with about 30% of all deployed American warships, including the aircraft carrier Gerald R. Ford, now on station. There are over 200 Tomahawk cruise missiles in theater aboard destroyers and U.S. Marines aboard the USS Iwo Jima and other amphibs in the Ready Group. Now, ahead of Thanksgiving, the U.S. military's top officer, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Raisin Kane, arrived in Puerto Rico yesterday to meet the forces who are part of Operation Southern Spear. So with General Kane in the region, we'll have to see if Secretary Hegseth follows suit ahead of Thanksgiving. And one thing officials have said is some of this buildup in the Caribbean goes beyond the Maduro regime. It's about getting Russia, China, and Iran out of the Western Hemisphere, guys.
And how is that not in our national interest? Appreciate it. Thanks so much, Lucas.
A lot of firepower.
And look, we can't spend a lot of time on this. There's so many big stories today. But just check out the Wall Street Journal. They talk about the headline is South America is turning more right-wing and getting Trumpier. What they're doing is more and more are electing, from Chile to what we saw in Bolivia, more electing Panama, electing more and more conservatives. Even the guy in Brazil is in trouble. So it's not healthy to be against the president. What he wants to do is not dominate these countries. He just wants these countries not to be dominated by China, Russia, and Iran.